Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into what the US government does. This module will cover the intricate mechanisms that drive government actions and policies. Understanding the specific functions of the government and how these activities shape our everyday lives is important. First, let's talk about the budget process. The federal budget process is central for determining how resources are allocated to various programs and services. It begins with the president submitting a budget proposal to Congress, followed by congressional review and amendments. Think back to 2013, when a budget dispute led to a government shutdown for 16 days, highlighting the critical nature of budget negotiations. The budget process starts with the president submitting a budget proposal to Congress, typically in February. This proposal outlines the president's priorities for the upcoming fiscal year, which starts on October 1st. This proposal includes funding recommendations for all federal agencies and programs. Once the president submits the budget, Congress reviews it and makes adjustments. The House and Senate budget committees draft budget resolutions, which set overall spending limits. These resolutions are then debated and voted on by both chambers. After the budget resolutions are passed, the appropriations committees in the House and the Senate, historically called the most powerful committees in Congress, allocate funding to specific programs and agencies within the established spending limits. These allocations are made through the 12 appropriations bills, which must be approved by both chambers and signed by the president. If Congress fails to pass the annual appropriations bills by the start of the fiscal year, they can pass a continuing resolution to maintain funding at current levels, usually for between 6 to 12 weeks. This budget process is essential for ensuring that government programs receive the necessary resources to operate effectively. Next, let's delve into presidential leadership in foreign policy. The president holds significant sway over U.S. foreign policy, often setting the agenda and making key decisions in international relations. Let's think about President Lyndon Johnson's decision to escalate U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War in the 1960s. This was a pivotal moment that showcased the president's power in directing foreign policy. The president's role is multifaceted in this way. As the chief diplomat, the president negotiates treaties and agreements with other nations. These treaties must be ratified by a 2/3 vote in the Senate. Additionally, the president appoints ambassadors and other diplomatic representatives who are responsible for maintaining relations with foreign governments. The president also directs the country's foreign aid programs and sets the overall tone of U.S. foreign policy through speeches and public statements. While the president has significant influence over foreign policy, Congress plays a crucial role as well in providing checks and balances even in this area. For example, Congress has the power to declare war and also to regulate international commerce and oversee the activities of federal agencies involved in foreign policy. Additionally, Congress overall controls the budget, so they can include funding for military and diplomatic efforts as they see fit. This shared responsibility ensures that both branches of government have a say in shaping U.S. foreign policy. Political parties play a pivotal role in organizing and mobilizing voters, shaping public policy, and structuring legislative debate. Consider the impact of the Democratic and Republican parties in American politics, now and throughout history. For example, in the 1960s, the Democratic Party led significant civil rights legislation under President Johnson, while the Republican Party under President Richard Nixon in the 70s emphasized law and order and conservative economic policies. Political parties are essential for our understanding of a functioning democratic system. They provide a framework for political competition. They allow citizens to choose between different policy platforms and different leadership styles. Parties also play an important role in mobilizing voters, organizing campaigns, and raising funds. By articulating clear policy positions, parties help voters make informed decisions and hold elected officials accountable. The legislative process in Congress involves multiple stages, from drafting and introducing bills to committee review, floor debate, and voting. Recall the intense legislative battles over the Affordable Care Act in 2010, where extensive debates and negotiations led to the passage of significant healthcare reform. The legislative process begins with the introduction of a bill in either the House of Representatives or the Senate. Once introduced, the bill is assigned to a committee that specializes in the relevant policy area. The committee reviews the bill, holds hearings, and may make amendments or changes to the bill. If the committee approves the bill, it moves to the floor of the respective chamber for debate and voting. In the House, the Rules Committee sets the terms for the debate, while in the Senate, debate is generally more open-ended. After the bill passes one chamber, it moves to the other chamber for consideration. If both chambers pass the bill, any differences between the House and Senate versions are resolved through a conference committee. The final version of the bill, after it once again passes both houses, is sent to the president, who can either sign it into law or veto it. If the president vetoes the bill, Congress can override the veto with a 2/3 vote in both chambers, but this is a relatively rare occurrence. This process ensures that legislation is thoroughly examined and debated before becoming law. The Supreme Court's role in interpreting the Constitution and reviewing laws is, from their standpoint, important for maintaining the rule of law. We can think about the landmark case of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, where the Supreme Court declared racial segregation in public schools unconstitutional, and by extension, discrimination by all state and federal government entities. In addition to its legislative and executive functions, the U.S. government also plays a central role in providing public services and ensuring national security. Agencies like NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, push the boundaries of scientific exploration and innovation, contributing to advancements in technology and our understanding of the universe. Public schools, supported by federal and state governments, provide education to millions of children, preparing the next generation of leaders and professionals. Public broadcasting services like PBS NewsHour and PBS Kids and National Public Radio offer educational and informative content that enriches public knowledge and cultural understanding. These institutions demonstrate the government's commitment to fostering an informed and educated citizenry. In conclusion, the U.S. government performs a wide range of functions that impact our daily lives, from creating and enforcing laws to providing public services and ensuring national security. The government's actions shape the fabric of American life. Understanding these functions and how they intersect is important for anyone interested in engaging with the political system. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to exploring more about the U.S. government with you in our next video.